Everyone in this classroom have a savings account?
I do.
Good, good. So, do you actually, I know nowadays you don't actually get letters mailed to you, okay, but do you like look at your savings account ever?
Yes.
When do you get your interest from the bank? Right? Every month, right? So, every question, can I talk here please? Every question that we've seen up until this point has been once a year they get the interest. Even that Wayne Gretzky question, the Georgie in his house and all that. So this is going to deal with in real life, it's more frequent, okay? So we're going to say in real life, I can find my pen. Interest is charged weekly, monthly, at savings accounts, daily, that's credit cards, and other times too. Okay, what happens in general is that the more frequent you compound, the more money you end up with. The reason for that is, if instead of you giving interest once a year, you give it more often, the interest will compound, right? So you get a little extra chunk here and a little extra chunk here. What the banks have figured out is that the difference between compounding daily and compounding by the second, like every second they charge you interest, is like so small the difference is not even worth doing. So daily is about as frequent as they'll get. So if you get a MasterCard and they pay the interest, they charge you by the day. If they're charged by the hour, they make an extra 2 cents a year or something, so it's not worth it. Okay, so to solve our questions, we will, and I'll write this in red, divide our interests and multiply the time. By the numbers in the table. What I mean is, if you're trying to compound something monthly, okay, at 12%, that means that you're going to compound it at 1% 12 times. Right? You're going to divide your interest by 12, so find out what every month is, and then you're going to times your time by that. So here we go. Here's the table. If I say annually, does anyone know what the word annually means? Yearly. So this is going to be one time per year. If I say quarterly, how many times per year is quarterly? 4. It is 4. The reason that we quarterly, if you think of those things that people don't use, which is money, okay, right? 4 quarters make $1. That's going to be 4 times a year. Monthly was going to be how many? 12. Weekly is going to be how many? It is 52. Now, here's the thing that tends to happen to people on tests. As you know, tests, there's pressure, and people get afraid during tests. I've been told by my 3Us about 50 times that there are 48 weeks in a year. Okay? If you're freezed on a test and say, I don't know how many weeks there are in a year, you can ask me, I can give that to you, okay, for free of charge. I don't know if people think 48, but then 4 times 12, I think is what they're thinking, if we got to 52. If I say daily, how many days in the year are we going to use? 365. It is actually 365.249, blah, 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 but we're going to stick with 365. We're going to ignore February 29th like the rest of the world. Okay? I'm going to do probably one more example, we might be done. It's the same as the last examples we've just done. The only difference is this dividing and multiplying. That's the only thing. Okay? All right, where do we stop, by the way? We stop and use the answer. I think up to Logan then. What example are we up to now? 4? 4. Here we go, Logan. We're going to say, Logan needs, we'll say, I don't know, $70,000 to buy, what do you want to buy, Logan? A car in 10 years. If he can invest at 10.4% compounded weekly, how much does he need today? Okay, if you are fading out of today's lesson and you're wishing it was the weekend and you're texting your friends and you're talking to the person beside you, this is the time to fade in because this is what every question will be like on your piece of paper, as well as on your next quiz next week, if hopefully I will get your quizzes by then, and anything like that, all right? So it says Logan needs $70,000 to buy a car in 10 years. This is an unrealistic question, because what this means is I'm expecting Logan to take a big chunk of money, probably 50 or 40 or 50 or $60,000, and to give it to the bank and not touch it and to end up with $70,000 at the end. What's more realistic if Logan is saving up for a car? Well, not even 10,000. What's Logan probably going to do if he's saving for a car? Well, nobody knows how to save you as a teenager. I forget. It's not your fault. Okay. What you would probably do is every week or every month, Logan's going to say, okay, here's $500. But you can save it up. That's probably what would happen. Okay. But for right now, we're assuming he has a big chunk of money going in there. Okay. So I'm going to start with Logan. Logan, can you recite from memory the pain formula, please?
A equals P bracket 1 plus I.
Yeah.
Okay. To the end.
To the end. Good. All right. Amanda, can you give us something, please? Go ahead. And it's time. Tiana, can I get something else, please? Good. Now that's tricked people again and again and again. It's not automatically 0.0. Justin, what else do we know? Amount of 70,000. Now, unfortunately, only one of those three answers is actually correct. Okay, two of them are wrong. Because there's one trick. The trick the trick here is this thing right here called compounded weekly. Okay? So when something is compounded weekly, you have to do what? And if you look back to the previous page, what do we have to do when something is compounded? What do we do? Go ahead, Colin. Sorry? Not minus 52, not quite. Okay? Yeah, so it said to do what to something and what to something else. We're going to divide our interest here by 52. All right? And we're going to times our n by 52. Now the reason for that is, hold on a sec. Since that's 10 years, I don't care about years, I care about weeks, right? Because we're talking about weekly. So I have to change 10 years into weeks. In the same way, this is the interest for the entire year. I don't care about the annual interest. I care about the interest that happens each week. So could someone be brave? That'd be Jesse. And on your calculator or in your head, 2.0104 divided by 52, please. Now, as Jesse's calculating that, you have to be as exact as possible. Never, ever, ever round this answer in a million years. Give me an ugly, messy, an ugly decimal, please. Go ahead.
0.003.
Yes, it is. I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Now, if you get something like this on your calculator, okay, is that what you got on your calculator? I'm going to show you how to deal with that. You're going to do this. Okay, and then hit enter, so do +1. And then you're just going to ignore the 1, okay? Right, so that's going to give you the decimal place. Everyone see that? Okay, so when you do +1, you should then get 1.002. There's what you get. Okay. Was anyone unable to get 0.002? Lovely. Oh, some calculators do this, that's what I was saying. All right, 10 times 52. Rise, well, thank you. Now we have a right answer. Okay, so you see what we did on these ones? Whenever it's compounded, and from here, Taylor, is it fair to say every question is going to be compounded that you get in the entire unit? You think? Fine. Georgie is hinting his head yes, okay. Every single question will be compounded, okay, like this. So you'll always divide your interest, you'll always times your time, always. Okay, so I'm gonna ask for volunteer, being Riley, to sub some numbers in, please, go ahead.
70
Yeah,
equals P bracket 1.002 bracket.
yeah. All right, now this is a little bit of calculator work for people, so I hope you have a calculator handy. There's a whole bunch of different ways to do this. What do we want to get rid of on the right-hand side, Andrew? What do we want to get rid of on the right-hand side? Yeah, so I'm going to rewrite this if I can. And you can type that in your calculator, hopefully. Okay, you guys all have calculators. I'm allowing you to use them for now until you can find an app that can solve any question with no thought. But for right now, you can use your calculators. Okay, so you can do that like that. I would advise against doing this first and dividing it through because there may be some rounding. Okay, so I would try and do it like that if you could. Is everyone okay on how I got that moved over? Please be. I'm hoping I might come to Callan here, but if not, that's okay too. I'll just need to calculate for you today. Okay. 70,000 divided by 1.002 to the power of 520. Hopefully that will work for people. If I'm guessing, the answer's going to be like 50,000 or something like that, or 60,000. What?
Oh, you're really off.
Like halfway.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right. 24,000, is that right?
24,764.5 for you.
That's
A little
like
slower?
It's okay, back up.
What is it, 24 months?
763.
6.3.
0.53.
Okay, 5.38 you said? 5.4 then? Okay, we're going to the nearest penny always on these. If you're wondering when to round, it's always the nearest penny. Now, the reason I underestimated, 10.4% interest, that's a lot. Does anyone want to know what you're getting on your savings account right now? Do you know what you're getting on your savings account? I'm going to tell you what you're getting, Madison. You're getting 0.5%, 0.5%, which means if Logan was getting 0.5%, this question would be so boring. You'd probably pay $68,000 to get up to 70 in 10 years, okay? So savings is not good right now. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the banks. I do my therefore statement, and I'll tell you what the banks. Therefore, Logan means. On 24,767.5. Okay, for anyone that wants to be an accountant, like what Mr. Chason was talking about yesterday, I have a little story to tell you with the banks, then I'm going to stop. Here, this is